Hello there, this is Denzian, and today I'm looking at this 5 Parsecs from Home compendium, or a bit more actually, it's the Bughunt that we're looking at. If you're not aware, 5 Parsecs from Home is a solo game for having these little crews out in the star systems, doing little deals, running around with gangsters, and getting into all sorts of shenanigans. This compendium book gives you loads of extra rules and ideas for adding to your games. But included in this is Bughunt, and Bughunt is a standalone way of playing the game. You don't actually need the core rulebook of 5 Parsecs from Home to play Bughunt. So that's worth knowing. If you just are looking for a rule system to do an Aliens, as in the movie franchise Aliens style game, this can do the job. I've played 3 games of it so far. First game, everyone died horribly. As I say, it's a solo game, so I was on my own doing this. You can do it cooperatively, and everyone has a little group of men each. That could be quite fun, thinking about it. See who gets out alive. Fighting against AI-generated alien forces. But on my third mission, which I've just done, all but 3 got out at the end of the mission. I lost 3 on the way, but they did survive. Using the campaign rules, they did survive. I managed to drag them back. One guy's going to miss the next game. One guy's going to miss the next 2 games. Oh dear. But they can recover. They can come back. So this chunky book, it's only in the back section, which is, so this is, as I say, extra rules for 5 Parsecs from Home. But when you get to the back, you get to Bughunt. A standalone little rule system, about 50 pages long, at the back of this book. I went straight to the back, straight into this, and got into it very, very quickly. If you're familiar with 5 Parsecs from Home, it has the same rules, mechanics, how to shoot, how to move, playing the solo game, but there's differences. The differences are, I suppose, the campaign system is very different. You only have 3 characters who are heroes, and you roll them up like you would with all normal characters in the normal game, but slightly different. It's basically a military style game. So if you want to do Colonial Marines, it's quite good. You basically roll up what world you grew up on, what your basic training was, and what your service history is. And these give you bonuses or not to your stats. Then you can pick some standard equipment, what you want to take on your mission, and then you form, you can even roll up the name of your unit. So it could be the Flying Bears, randomly. And that's a great thing about this game. It is all very random. So the way missions work is you are given 6 dice, and you put those 6 dice around the table, and you number them 1 to 6, and then you roll 3 dice, and what numbers didn't get rolled get taken off the board. What remains are your objectives. If you roll a double, then that particular objective is top priority. You get extra for getting that one. It also makes the game a bit harder. There might be more alien creatures running around. As well as those 3 objectives, and each objective is different. You don't just go to them. When you get to them, you've got to do a different thing. So you might need to scout the area. You might need to hack something. I had an issue with that. I had to hack a terminal. It took me 3 turns to actually break the hack. So the poor Marine had to stand there doing his, run a bypass, and the aliens were closing in, and he had to rely on his friends to keep them at bay until he'd done the job. So some are trickier than others. But then you have 6 other objectives, which aren't really objectives. They're just sort of random things that can be around. And I've been using tokens from the Alien RPG from Free League for this, because and the dice actually, because they work, don't they? They're in theme, on theme, if you like. And when you get near these other objectives, you can roll to see what they are. So it might be something that helps you, so something to distract the aliens, that sort of thing. Before you go on a mission, you can roll what extra forces you get. So you have a target number, and if you fail it, you don't get that help, and you've lost it. So you always start with a fire team of 4 men with rifles. Standard to go with your 3 heroes, and then depending on the priority, you get so many dice rolls on this chart, but you pick what you want to go for. So right, I'll go for grenades because that's easy. All I've got to do is get a 4 plus 2 dice. Hope you get it. And then you can outfit your Marines with grenades. I mean, obviously, this doesn't have to be the Alien franchise. This could be Imperial Guard versus Tyranids if you're a Warhammer player. You know, it could be any Starship Troopers style game, anything like that. Obviously, I'm going for Aliens because I like it. So you can kind of think, oh yeah, sharpshooter, so I need a sniper, a sergeant, yeah, a recon patrol, colonial militia, so basically colonists with guns, scientific survey team, intelligence reports. But then you got an alien assault marine team. Now these are from the 5 parsecs world, but you could just stick a predator in, couldn't you? And have him playing these characters here. So you know, you can fudge it how you want it. Yeah, tactical locations. That's what I was talking about. They're the little objectives that are dotted around. So you roll to see what they are, and it could be something that helps. It could be something that sticks up a barricade or something, you know, and stops aliens getting through. So I played this game in an outdoors scenario as if we're going to the colony, and then my next mission I'll be in the colony. So you can go for interiors as well as exteriors. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The 3 main objectives start with basically a blip token. And you roll to see what they do every turn. So what the nasty is going to do. So I've been using my yellow alien dice and the black dice from the Alien RPG. You roll them both together. One's an aggressive dice and one's a passive dice. So I've been using the yellow alien die here as aggressive. And if that rolls higher than a passive, the blips will move whatever you rolled closer to your Marines. And if they get within a certain range, you roll to see what they are. Once you've spotted them, what are they? If you roll a 1, there's nothing there. You know, someone's gerbil. It's not an alien at all. Or it could be the contact. There we go. The contact moves away. It moves in a different direction. Goes back away from you. Or 3 to 6, there's something there. And you roll, depending on what alien creature you're using, because there's a big list of different types that you can use. I've gone for the swarm for basic aliens. And so D3 plus 1 appear. So you can get 4 on a blip, basically. Or contacts, as they call them in the game. And ignore saving throws from your troopers. So they're a bit vicious when they get you. And they did get me. Quite horribly in the first game. You can have variants to the creatures as well. Pack leaders and things like that. So as the game goes on, you can, in a campaign, you can make it more difficult. So it gets harder and harder as you go along. So you can get spawn points where aliens keep coming on. But generally, when you have your contact blips moving around, if you roll double on the aggressive and passive dice, they don't move, but another blip appears on top and they start stacking. So you can very quickly get overwhelmed. So you roll for initiative like you do in 5 parsecs from home to get under your reactions for each of your units, and you can move your squads. Those that fail go after the aliens. So some can go before, some can go afterwards. The aliens move in the middle. So you have to think, who's a priority? Who should I get into a good position? Once you've secured your objectives, you've got to get the dropship down to pick you up. And they don't always turn up. And you have to roll 2 dice. And you need to add how many objectives you've secured. If you've got any points in Savvy or other bonuses, you add that. But you've got to get 10 or more for a dropship to turn up. If you get 9 or less, it's like, no, it's too hot for pickup, not coming down yet. And even if it does turn up, you've got to pick a spot where it turns up, and you've got to get to that point by the end of that turn for the dropship to pick you up. So you've got to basically hold off the aliens until the dropship arrives, if it arrives. So that's why my guys were here waiting. And it didn't turn up for 3 turns, which was great. I had to just stay there, but luckily things had calmed down slightly. And then you get picked up and off you go, and then you can roll up to see what happens next. So are your men dead? Did they survive the mission? And then you've got operational progress, so you can roll randomly, see if anything happens to your men. One of my this is as in operational progress, so in the wider world for the military operation, you get experience points. You can boost up your stats. There's the injury chart there. How many missions have you completed? You could possibly get out and muster out. So I've done my tour. I'm going. I've had enough. get replaced by somebody else. And then there's some extra rules that you can add on. The signals, I use those. The signals are extra little blippy things that you can go to and investigate, and it might be a colonist who's been left behind and they join you. So if you played Aliens Dark Descent, the video game, this is very like that. It's like a tabletop version of that. And I think it does the job really well. You can play a game in about half an hour, quite snappy. It can get overwhelming. If dice rolls go against you, it can go really easy if it goes the other way. But I've got a dilemma now, because out of my 3 heroes, 2 of them are now hospitalised for the next mission, and I've only got 1. So I've got to hopefully roll up some reinforcements on that table I showed you to get some more grunts on the table to help me out. And now that I've got to the colony outskirts, my next mission will be going into the buildings. See how that switches things up a bit. But I just thought it was worth doing a little video on, because I don't know if it's something who are fans of this sort of franchise have thought about. Like I say, you don't need the main rule book. You can pick this up for about £35 and you've got a game. You can use all your tokens from all the other Alien games that are out there and have fun with it. I did do a video on the Violent Dark, very similar to that, but this is a bit more soldier related rather than a crew on a ship. So it's a bit different, but it has some similarities to that game. Both are good in their own right. So yeah, there is the tactics game that 5 parsecs have now as well, so I'm just going through that at the minute for doing larger battles. Again, solo or cooperative. So that might be interesting. But yeah, I don't have to be aliens. You could do any miniatures you want, can't you? So if you're a 40k player, use them. Or if you like Stargrave and you've got a collection of minis with lots of critters. So if you're a fan of critters coming against guys with guns, this is a good system. So just thought I'd show it off. So I had fun. I don't know if I will on the next mission. I think I'm going to die horribly. But wish me luck, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.